And welcome to a session organized by the Iowa Press. My name is Rahia Kebe and I will be your host. Today we are honored to talk to the outgoing SUG president. And this interview is one of our ways to promote transparency, student involvement, and also a smooth transition ahead of this upcoming elections. So, Mr. President, thank you for talking to us. Please introduce yourself and talk to us about your role in this current student union government.
Thank you so much, Rahia. My name is Lewan Sane. I'm the current president of the 12 Iowa SUG. I'm really happy that the Iowa Press invited me to be part of this interview. I'm really honored.
I would like to thank you for your cooperation and also your impact and everything you have done for the Iowa students and the student body during your time here. Give us a brief of your experience so far as our outgoing president.
So far it's been a very positive experience. Since I took over last year around June, took over this office, and it's really been challenging. So we were in office we are 2 weeks old in office, and then we are faced by several problems, and then we actually have to address it. I think I can gladly tell you that one of the challenges we are faced with is the relationship between the administration and the student union government. As of now, I can gladly tell you that the relationship has hugely improved.
Before you came into action as the president, you had goals, right? Tell us those goals, and so far, did you achieve those goals? If not, can you talk about the ones you did and did not?
Thank you so much. When I had the word achievements, I'm really glad because if you're a student that is seated outside there, you might not know what the student union is doing, but that's because we have not been having this thing called the press. Because if you have been having the press, you will know the achievements. First of all, when I came in office back in June, July, we had a huge challenge at the CMIT, which is, looking at their building over there, it was very, very challenging. It was not conducive health-wise. It's very, very hazardous, looking at the one at the CMIT. So when we came in office, the students were at the verge of going for strike. But that was my first task ahead. So I actually took it up, and then we actually called for a meeting. It has never happened in Iowa that the student union government called for a meeting just to meet the students and discuss their challenges. So we did that at the CMIT. We met hundreds of students. We met them, we called for them, and then we had a discussion with them. What is the problem? They highlighted their dissatisfactions. So I went to Dr. Ben's office. I told him, Dr. Ben, these students need to move. And he was like, what are you saying? I said, they need to move. And it's soon they need to move. He was like, but the building over there at the opposite Q City is not done. I'm like, well, rainy season is coming. And then the students, and every year looking at the admission rate is very high. So what we could do at that point to avoid overcrowding in an environment that is not conducive for learning, and if the environment is not conducive for learning, it will be very hazardous. And so what we did was we actually told Dr. Ben, you have to ensure that you talk to those constructors so that they can fasten the work that they are doing. And they did it. And then before the next trimester, Dr. Ben promised us that he will be moving there. So that's how they actually moved there from the other campus to the new campus.
So based on what you just said, can you describe to me the current relationship between the student union government and the student body?
Okay, student body, the students in general, and the student union. So the student union government is the entire body that represents the students. So that is, if students have any issues, you should report to us. We are the ones that can speak for them. Understand? As far as that is feasible, students need to understand the channels that they need to follow to ensure that those issues that they are affected with is properly tackled. But as a student, if you reported to the wrong individual, look, I'm facing this and that, and obviously you expect that individual to do the necessary job for you, obviously you say no. Student union, the only passage is the student union or the dean of student affairs. But if you don't pass through them, your problem might not be able to solve. And I believe most of the students don't understand that. This year, looking at the campaign and everything for the elections, you can see the students are really aware of everything, and then with the help of the Iowa Press as well, everything is all right now. Thank you.
If you were not the president of the SU, would you be satisfied with the current leadership?
As a leader, I believe in criticism. If I'm doing well, you come to me and tell me, Mr. President, you are doing well. Obviously, even if we stop at this point, we are satisfied. Obviously, they expect me to improve. Obviously, I, as a president, I expect people to criticize me. And if someone else is in the mantle of leadership, I expect the same thing from people. Because if you criticize them, they improve. If you don't criticize them, they will not improve. And then that's it. Yeah.
Do you believe your administration was transparent and accessible to the students?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I believe my administration is transparent and accessible to the students. All looking at the activities we have been to, all the activities we have organized in Iowa since I took over office, there's a report for every activity, financial report for it. There is the social report aspect of it, and even the health aspect. Because obviously we don't expect leaders to take students to a particular place, like for example, Kanila or Sindola, and they are feeding. You need to take care of that. Their well-being, obviously, you need to take the social activities that you organize, and the amount of money that they paid, everything is in place. So I will just speak about the monetary aspect a bit. The monetary aspect, I, as the president, there are three individuals that are involved in that aspect. That is the president, the secretary general, and the finance. So looking at that, the finance is the overall in charge of it. But looking at our SUG account, it's a saving account. You understand? So that account is only accessible by two individuals. Two must sign, despite three individuals are actually recorded with the bank, have actually recorded with the bank. But only two is eligible to sign. So meaning, if you want to do any transactions, withdrawals, anything, I, as the president, I cannot withdraw alone. You understand? So it's either I go with the secretary have to sign, I have to sign, understand? Or I go with the finance. But no withdrawals can be made without the executive being notified.
Okay, still on this financial issue, would you say all the SUG fund was used as intended and without compromise or favoritism?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's always used because all the funds we generate, looking at Iowa as a student body, sorry to say, but the student union, since I took over, what we do, nobody sponsors us with funding. Understand? We seek donations or we seek partnership. That's what we do. So looking at the admin, it's just this year that the admin ever gave us 10,000. Apart from that, it has never happened in the history of Iowa due to the personal relationship we had with them and that we built. You understand? But without that, I don't think there's any correct channel whereby we do have fun. The only channel where we can have funds is through the student dues. For obviously, even you that I'm interviewing, I'm not sure you have been paying your student dues. So obviously, you students don't expect people to have money and do things that are magnanimous. Obviously not.
Going off of the confidence you answered these questions with, would you be in support of publishing the financial statements of this outgoing SUG if it was suggested?
Oh my God. Look, like I actually said earlier, this is a simple thing. Like I told you, you asked me whether you believe that my presidency is transparent. See, everything that we do, we have the Auditor General, we have finance, we have legal advisor to the Executive Council. You know, those records are not for us. Obviously, they expect us to go with them or put them in our bag and carry them home, keep them. It's for the students, no. So that is for the students, not for us.
So are you saying if an audit is to be conducted randomly today, that all of the monetary transactions and all of that would be accounted for?
Obviously. So you see, let me explain this. You see, the reason why I'm saying this because we have what we call bank statement, isn't it? So if I should go to the bank today and withdraw money, believe it or not, my name will be captured. And the next person also will be the same thing. So that's a record. So in the SUG, as a minister or whoever it might be, if you want some cash, you fill in the request form. So when you fill in the request form, you tell us what you need the money for. You highlight all the buckets and you submit to finance. So when you submit to finance will advise you, okay, Mr. Suleiman, you sent a particular bucket to us, but I think looking at our account right now, we don't have that amount of money to support this event. So they will advise you, oh, we are going to validate it. So if it is validated, fine. If it's not, but I as a president alone, I don't have a say in that. Finance have a say in that, so they have to validate it. Yeah.
This next question would have been directed to your finance minister.
Yes.
But since he is not here,
Yes.
it's just about the ongoing allegations and rumors. What is your opinion on that? And is there anything you can tell us to clear those allegations?
You, as the journalist, I would prefer you ask me the allegation that you are talking about. Because allegations can be in any format. So what do you mean by the financial allegation that is going on?
What I believe the students want to know is they believe that your finance minister has been embezzling the funds of the SUG.
Yeah.
So those are the allegations we want to clear up.
Okay. So thank you so much. So I want people to understand that as the president or any executive member, when we are taking over this office, we took an oath. You understand? So that is whatsoever you are going to do, you must not embezzle SUG funds. You understand? And you make sure that you are transparent about everything that you are doing. So as far as I'm concerned, I would like to say this about the finance minister, because finance minister, if any of you knew him, I know him earlier, you will know that he's a very simple guy. He laughs, he jokes around with everybody. You understand? So with regards to that financial statement saying that he embezzled funds. So when I heard some of the people saying that they called me and said, so your finance minister actually embezzled our funds. I even laughed and I was like, how is that possible? Because he alone cannot do any withdrawals without our consent. Some of the trips that we have been to, Honorable Kinde will use his own money to support us, and those money will not be accounted for. Even the auditor can testify that. Some people can testify that, even at Sindola. Yeah? So there is no way that the Honorable Minister will embezzle our funds.
You guys have heard from your outgoing president, Mr. Ahmed Kinte is allegedly innocent. It was brought to our attention that a promise was made to one of the presidential candidates, a promise of endorsement by you. And to our understanding, that promise was not kept. So what is your answer to that?
Promise of endorsement? That I can recall, but I can recall that one of the candidates recently vying for the presidency this year, Koma, was once a colleague that I worked with. You understand? So we were in the 11th executive. But before that, during the 11th executive campaign, how we actually spotted him, it was through the 11th executive and then through the president. That's how he came into the office as a deputy sport minister. So when it's time for the 12th Iowa Executive Council elections, actually I was vying for presidency. So Koma actually also showed his intention. We are all in the same 11th Executive Council. So I was aware, he was aware, but we didn't have any dialogue at that point in time. So when that happened, so I was just sitting and then I saw Koma actually form his own party called, I think it's Alliance something, if I can recall very well. So I was like, okay, but I was on the Student Life Matters at that point. So I was trying to continue with them. So when Koma formed that party, meaning he was my opponent at that point in time. You understand? So I actually have my entire house. I have my health minister, everybody, people that were aspiring candidates as well. So now, before it was time for election, Koma was there. Koma has his own executive members, those that are vying for positions as well. So he had his own party, and he has his members, the aspiring candidates as well. So I was on the team Student Life Matters. I think their team was something like Alliance something. You understand? So at that point in time, before elections commenced, the campaign was ongoing, because Koma and the former president had a good relationship as with Jibril. The same way I have a good relationship with him. So I engaged him. I was like, Koma, okay, this is election time, election is coming. You should not have left us and form your own party. You know, but at that point he didn't say anything, he just smiled. You understand? So after, there was this particular day I came to the school. Before IC will announce, will actually inform us about the interview. You understand? That's the day everything changed. Because he was on the ground, he has his own team. You understand? So I was there as well. I have my own team. So we met downstairs here. Because at that point, there were people that were trying to endorse his party. trying to join his party. It's either try to be vice president or president with him, so on so. But I wasn't very sure. So I think there was not a consensus between them. They don't have an agreement. You understand? So, but at that point, so Jibril was with me. So Jibril called him and said, come. And I myself, we were having a discussion with him. So I told him, so really, you and I, we are going for elections. And he was just smiling, I was like, okay, if I had known that you are vying for this at the initial stage from the executive, if I had known it and you will have communicated to me, obviously I will have stepped down and allow you to go. But at this point in time, it is very late. You understand? So at that point, that's the time Jibril came in. We both spoke with him. We said, okay, Koma, I think for us, I was in trimester, was it 7 or 6? I was in my final year. So I told him, I think it would be, you still have a long way to go. You are in trimester 3 by then. I told him that, look, you can just allow us, let us continue. You can come in after. You understand? Allow us continue. You can come in, because at that point we were already signed out. Obviously, have all the opportunity to campaign and do it, but we wouldn't like to share the same political arena with you. Just we have done so many things together. Okay, then he smiled and then he understood. So Jibril also engaged him. We are like, next year you can go. Next year you can go and do your stuff. And I believe that is what is happening.
So at that point, when that agreement was made, no promise of endorsement was made by you.
Yeah, like I told him that, look, next year you will go. Obviously, we are all here. You see, as of now, if I tell you that I'm not supporting somebody during this campaign, I'm lying. Obviously, I need to support somebody. But I'm a president. Obviously, you don't expect me to go up and down and start saying, vote for this, and start politicizing. That is not me, obviously.
Actually, that was supposed to be our last and final question for you. Yeah. Would you say that you are neutral and unbiased when it comes to this election?
Yeah. So let me say this. You see, as the current president, even if I endorse Koma, I will not tell you. That's how it should be as a professional. Mm-hmm. So if people are saying that, okay, fake promises was done, I can never promise Koma that you become president. Because I'm not ASAC. I'm not. And let me say this year's election made the best candidate win for all of us. You understand? Personally, for me, I'm graduating in 3 days. Obviously, I have done the little I can do, and I wish them the very best. And if anyone thinks that you need a clarification on this, and I'll be more than happy. This is what I'm saying. I'll be more than happy. If Koma can approach me and tell me that you said next year I'll be president, I never told him that. I said next year you can go.
Thank you, Mr. President, for answering all of our questions. That was Mr. Suleiman Sane, outgoing president of the 12th Executive Student Union Government, and I hope that all of your questions are answered. Thank you for tuning with us.